make it. Like if you lean into it and really embrace it, it's gonna be fun like anything. But if you have one foot out the door, it's gonna be a struggle.
Do you feel like the way things are going right now in training culture that it is really conducive to basketball?
Mm-hmm. We don't come from the era of documenting what we do or filming what we do.
Right.
No, it's public knowledge. Like his dad talks about it on the docuseries that we're doing for him right now, because everybody sees he got crazy offers to go to high school, like financial offers.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Like people were throwing bags at him, but we would go to all the tournaments, AU nationals, like everything was still in my pockets. Like I'm like, yo, just trying to make sure I'm good. I just understood early about this process.
Yeah.
I just didn't have the backing. Right? But also do your research, ask questions. That's the first part of my book is to ask questions, right? And don't be afraid to ask questions. You know what I'm saying? And it's what people are talking about on a grander scale in the comment sections on some of these, national basketball platforms on social media.
You're going to have to wait maybe 2 times, you know, 2 games. Like that's a beautiful thing to sit there and like that creates that sense of urgency. You're going to play hard.
Who you with?
Game related.
Stay game related, man. My man. Stay game related, man.
Stay game related, y'all.
Stay game related, man.
Stay game related.
Stay game related.
Stay game related, man. The best in the business.
Stay game related. You gotta stay here locked in.
When you make it in life, you always want to give back. Same what you doing right now. These kids
have faith, believe in God. Just put that work in.
Stay game related, man.
Stay game related, man. Listen, game related for sure. My man.
Yeah, stay game related, y'all.
So stay game related.
stay game related.
Stay game related. Game related.
Stay game related.
Stay game related.
All right, stay game related.
Stay game related. Stay game related.
My man. Stay game related.
Stay game related.
All right. Stay game related, man.
Stay game related.
Stay game related.
Stay game related. All right, my man. Stay game related.
Stay game related.
Yeah.
Stay game related.
My man.
Stay game related.
My man.
Y'all better stay game related.
When the whole world be waiting for you, but if you want some local shit, you won't even know.
Welcome to Game Related, where we highlight opportunities and obstacles from former athletes with the thought process of giving future generations a better understanding about the game. These conversations are meant to bring awareness to the hardships and the opportunities that come from the game. And we definitely going to talk about an opportunity today. Let's stay game related. All right, y'all, welcome back. Another episode of Game Related, man. We got Mike Creppy in the building, freshly off of Imported on Hulu. Make sure y'all check that out. Freshly off of Fox 5 News. Just came from there to pop up on our show, man. Very appreciative. We're going to talk about just the journey he's been on, the things that he's been doing overseas. We're going to get back into his playing days too, right? And obviously he stays in shape, man. So we're going to talk about everything today, man. Welcome to the show.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. So first and foremost, congratulations.
Thank you.
Like
Thank you,
this
man.
is good, man. I've seen nothing but positive reviews about Imported, man. Like, just talk about how it felt once it got announced and you saw yourself on TV or saw the production on TV.
Yeah, it's funny, man. First of all, thanks for this opportunity. I always like coming and tapping in with my guys and just having real authentic conversations. So I appreciate this opportunity. But yeah, man, like it's funny because people always ask me that question, and I know they expect a certain answer. But like I said off camera, I expected this.
Yeah.
So it hasn't changed me in any way. Like I'm appreciative. I'm grateful that we got this done, especially in a industry climate like Hollywood where a lot of projects aren't getting picked up on these major distribution platforms. We were able to get one, my first one. This is my debut film. So like, I never did film before, but like we always talk about, like I have a love and passion for the game of basketball that anybody who knows me knows like this is on brand for me. So like, to be the first one to do a featured film on overseas basketball means a lot because it's a conversation that people kind of shy away from. Like nobody runs towards overseas basketball. It's almost like, my league dreams didn't work out, so I got to go overseas. And it's almost like you hear the phrase the Euro grind and overseas grind, and it's just a ticking time bomb until you get back to the States or to the NBA. But for me, it's like overseas basketball is enough if you really embrace it and lean into it. You get to travel the world, you get to play ball in these crazy sports environments and arenas.
Right.
Like you played overseas, like we all had our taste of it, bro. And it was like, you come back so much more enriched because of it. And that's something that I think a lot of NBA players are seeing, which is why these notable guys are going overseas now. I'm pretty sure we'll talk about that as we get into the conversation. But just Imported itself has been a crazy journey. It's been a journey of faith because I put up my own money for the film. I tapped in with people that I knew, like James Gist, who you guys had on here, Lindsay Pulliam, who you guys should have on here because she's doing some amazing things on and off the court.
We'll
a flat out bucket, good Counsel High School, 2,000-point score at Northwestern, Big Ten. So she's doing a lot of things in the financial game right now off the court. And then obviously we had Edgar Sosa, somebody that I met, and I'll get into that as we get into the conversation. But yeah, it's just been a crazy journey, man.
Nah, man. Yeah. So talk about the struggles of, obviously it didn't happen for you, but getting that distribution or getting access from, I guess, a Hollywood venue.
Yeah, no, I mean, this literally was a miracle. Like I always say that, like, I'm a man of faith. Christ really is doing this big one with this one because people that are seasoned filmmakers are having a hard time getting their film picked up. And all I did, I hired a crew. We shot the film. I did all the developmental footage. Like I said, I put up my own money for it, not knowing what it was going to be. Yeah. I just wanted to tell these stories authentically and truthfully. And, as God would have it, I started meeting this one person in Hollywood, and they connected me with another person. And then, then Giannis's production company became attached to it with Jay Williams. And, once those names get attached to your project, now you're out of here.
Yeah, you're out of there.
And so, that's a deeper conversation. I know you talk a lot about financial strategy and things like that. And a lot of people talk about ownership. Yeah. And I gave up percentages of my ownership to those guys, even though this was my, so to speak, baby. But you got to play the long game. Like 40% of a watermelon is a lot better than 100% of a grape.
I was about to use that same thing.
Yeah, bro. Because, people get caught up in this, you got to own. But like, look at where we are now. I have a film on Hulu. Yeah, I gave up some ownership, but now I can go out into the open market with a Hulu project under my resume as a producer, lead producer, and I funded the film, which is huge in Hollywood. So, all of those things have kind of taken me down this path of filmmaking.
Yeah, man, it's crazy you say that because I always feel like this gonna set you up for the next,
100%.
Right? And I think a lot of times people get caught up in this one thing being your baby, not realizing this is a long play. Right?
But this was just like, I hate to say this is my throwaway. Yeah. The next project I have coming up, if people like this one, the next ones are gonna go crazy.
Can't wait.
Like, it's gonna go crazy.
Can we learn a little bit about it?
But that's what I was saying. Like, to get this one out, especially with everybody talking about overseas basketball, I started seeing on ESPN these notable basketball podcasts were talking about overseas basketball more. And I'm sitting there listening, and I'm like, all right, somebody's gonna do something big with overseas basketball soon. Why not me? So that's why, I went out there, did it first, just to get it out there. And now, like, everybody that, there's these huge basketball pages. I was just telling my media team, like, people are talking about Imported in the comment section. Yeah. Like, it's crazy. Yeah. So,
one thing I love what you're saying, right? Like, we talked a little bit off camera about when you're just your authentic self, like, your people are going to just show up. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you was just saying, I put it out there, then all of a sudden, all these people that had the same interest, vested interest, just came together, and then y'all made something together. Like, I love that about this. Talk about, what is it from Imported that you want the world to see that's not a basketball player?
Well, like I said on Fox 5 earlier today, the biggest thing is to dispel these misconceptions. Like, overseas basketball is second class to the NBA, and it's almost like semi-pro is how they think about it. And there are aspects of it that are semi, just like there are aspects of the NBA that are semi, right? There are guys making 10 times as much as the G League guys overseas, right? But because they have the NBA brand attached to it, nobody looks at it like that. And so just to dispel those, rumors, like it's all struggle, like you're gonna be in these war-torn countries and you have to struggle with the language barrier and things like that. Most of these countries are developed, one. Two, they speak English, like almost better than us, to be honest.
Right.
You get paid and your money's tax-free. Your team pays your taxes. Like, there's so many advantages, and you get to travel the world. You get to see these dope places that you look at on Instagram or that you learn about in school, and you get to see it. And then if you're fortunate enough, you can bring your family with you, and they get to see it, especially the kids. Like, I love seeing the overseas experience through a kid's view,
right?
Because their imagination's already going crazy, but now they get to see stuff. Like I took my nephew to Rome for a spring break a couple years ago, and he's at the Vatican and he's at the Colosseum and he's learning about things he's learning in school. He's seeing it in person, and so that's the dopest thing to me. But the biggest thing is just like the misconceptions, like this is all bad, and they only highlight the negative parts. Like you see Brittany Griner and her situation, but that is a microcosm of the whole situation. Like you can have a crazy enjoyable experience, but it's about what you do and how you make it. Like if you lean into it and really embrace it, it's gonna be fun like anything. But if you have one foot out the door, it's gonna be a struggle.
Yeah, man, you can really live like a king over there, man.
Yeah.
Just in my year in Germany, man, like my face was everywhere, right? I had my own chant.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it was truly amazing. And you look at somebody who we both had, James Giss, right, who was just a legend, overseas, you know what I mean? And like if he stayed over there, I don't necessarily know if he had to do anything. If he just decided, hey, I'm gonna retire here, like he would have been an ambassador, over there. So
and it's crazy. I was actually, when he first got to Greece, we got there at the same time.
Yeah.
And Jay's my best friend. I'm his son's godfather. Like that's my man. Like we're locked in for life. And so it was a really unique situation. And that's another thing people think, you might be around guys that that was so rare. It was like 6 Maryland guys in Greece at that year.
Yeah, that was crazy.
It was Terrell Stoglin. He was on my team. Just on my team alone, we had Travis Garrison. We had Terrell Stoglin. James was 15 minutes down the road, Panathinaikos. Landon Milborn was close by. Boom Osby was playing in the league. Yeah. So like, that was a very rare year. And then James and I lived 20 minutes from each other. So just to have somebody I consider a brother so close overseas, and just to see how his career took off when he got to Greece.
Right.
Like he literally became a legend right before our eyes. So now his story is one that I always tell, like watch his story, because if you think he's struggling, like he wasn't struggling over there. He was living like a king. I remember we were on Skype. Dating myself, right?
Yeah, Skype.
We were on Skype, and I keep seeing this light flashing in the back of his cam behind him. I'm like, I said, bro, you have an elevator in your house? Yeah. He had an elevator in his house. That's a fact. You can check with him. Like, so that's just a little example about like how guys were living over there.
Yeah, man. So tell me, I guess, in your eyes, what is the biggest difference between, I guess, the overseas play and the NBA play?
I mean, not like this, the conversation I like. Now we're going to talk basketball.
Yeah.
Because it's really about, can you play in a system? Like, the NBA is a lot more, if you can go get a bucket, you're going to get a bucket. But overseas, you really got to have that 1-2 second internal clock in your mind. If you can't get your move off of 1-2 counter, then you got to move it. They're not letting you dribble 4 or 5 times. They're going to look at you like you crazy. You be on first flight home. Like, they don't care about the contract. They'll break the contract. They'll dare you to go fight them in Switzerland in court. So you just have to know how to play basketball to play overseas. And there are a lot of guys, not to cut you off, Stan, there are a lot of guys that went overseas during lockout years that played in the league, notable guys, I'm not going to say any names, that struggled when they got over there because it's not as free as the NBA.
And not as free. And it's crazy what you said, because I remember when I first got over there, I traveled probably like 5-6 times, right?
They changed that rule, by the way. Like,
For real?
we used to have to put it down first and go. Now you can rip through and go.
Oh,
they changed that now.
That's awesome.
But back then, that was a big thing. Like, you were always gonna travel. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always got called for attacking the closeouts on the baseline because that 3-point line is so close that I will always step back. So you have to work on your footwork by just pushing off and things like that. But yeah.
So what I was gonna say is, like, literally, like, we would run this play, and it was designed, it looked like a play, and then I would catch the ball on the wing, right? And coach was like, listen, you got 2 seconds. If you can't make something go in 2 seconds, you're done, right? And so like that comes into your brain, right? And so now when I train kids, like people be like, man, your stuff's so simple, it's so basic, and I'm like, bro, like, because that's the game.
That translates.
You know what I mean? That translates. Like, we not gonna do, and so like, I want to get into training culture, right? I want to talk about it just a tad.
You don't want to
bit.
hear my opinion.
I do want to hear your opinion on it, because do you feel like the way things are going right now in training culture that it is really conducive to basketball?
I don't believe a lot of people training basketball players should be anywhere near a basketball court. Like, I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Okay.
Like we talked about it off camera, because of how detailed we were with ourselves and how we learned the game. We had great coaches coming up in this area that we can literally teach somebody how to play basketball. A lot of these guys are doing one-size-fits-all workouts, and half of these guys aren't even going to watch their players play. So how can you train them if you don't know what system in which they play, what they actually struggle with in a game? You're just giving them stuff that you think looks cool and things like that. And the kids are wondering why their moves don't work when they get in the game. They're looking at you like, but I did the move. And it's like, you did the move with cones. There was no reads. There was no, obviously, once you get to a certain level of a player, you're not even looking at your initial defender anymore. You're looking at the second, third, help side, backline defense. And so, I was actually talking to, as you know, I'm really close with Bob Alatoon. I'm doing his YouTube series right now, and I've been working with him and his dad since they were 7.
Right.
And his dad is a master trainer.
Okay.
Right. But his dad's a master trainer because he studies. Right. And so we just talked about it yesterday. There's no such thing as an NBA trainer.
Right.
Like, this whole notion of I'm an NBA trainer because you work with players that are in the NBA doesn't make you an NBA trainer.
I'm gonna speak on that too. More. Go ahead.
Yeah. If you have not taken a kid from a young age and developed him through the years to get him to the NBA, you're not an NBA trainer. It's all about development. And most of these guys, and I blame the NBA guys too, because it's your fault for allowing them to attach their name to you when they didn't help you get better. You just getting somebody to work you out.
Yeah. It's crazy because I always tell everybody this. I'm like, bro, it's so easy to train a guy when they 21, 22 because they already pretty much got everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But really try to work with a kid 10, 11, 12, 13, even younger, right? And you literally teaching them left, right, or right, left, into that jump shot, or just a layup, or just dribbling the ball and understanding how to handle pressure. You know what I mean? Like, that's a different animal.
Come on, man.
Going to the game and saying, all right, Slim, like, the way you was reading the trap, it was wrong, right? You need to get off the ball. Like these are the little nuances when you talk about NBA trainer. Like, you're not doing none of that stuff.
Yeah.
And like what you just said was so critical.
And it's dangerous though, Stan, because the NBA guys are gonna be them. Like, they didn't need that person training, but it's these parents who don't know any better that are sending their kids to train with these NBA trainers because they do train NBA guys and they think their kid is going to benefit from that, not knowing this person has no experience with development. And that's the dangerous part, because like I say, I truly love basketball. Forget all this Hollywood stuff. Like, at my core, I'm a basketball guy. So like, I still work guys out. If I'm at the gym and I see them doing something wrong, let's get in the gym. I ask them, do you want some help first? You don't want to give them unsolicited advice, but if they want some work, like, let's work. And I see it. They're like, but I just trained with this person. I'm not gonna say any names, right? Even though I should, but like these dudes, like, they don't know how to develop, and they're doing the kids a disservice.
And with the I'm gonna take it a step deeper, right? When I talk about just us, like, we don't hire us. Right. And so what I've seen is, a guy will work in the NBA as a scout or whatever, right? Player development, quit because he got access to the kid, to the player. Then all of a sudden he start his training services, right? So like, he skipped a step to get where he's at. And we don't hire enough of us to get put in that position for whatever reason. Like, we're not helping each other out. And I'm just like, all of a sudden everybody else is getting them jobs, and for whatever reason we're not getting those opportunities.
That's a great conversation, because I talk about that a lot, like, with 39. So we don't come from the era of documenting what we do or filming what we do. It's like, if you know type of vibe. But in this climate, you have to document your work, right? You have to put it out there. And to me, clout chasing has a negative connotation to it, but if you have the substance, you should have the clout. And that was a switch for me, by the grace of God, that changed everything for me. I was like, I'm watching all of these people get the shine and the popularity, and they don't have half of the substance that I have. So I said, all right, you know what I'm gonna do? Hire my own media team. I'm gonna get on as many platforms as I can, and I'm gonna amplify my voice. So now I'm the first person they come to instead of the last person they come to.
Man, you hit it on the point, man.
Because like a lot of these trainers, and not just trainers, coaches, everything. They're like, how come this person not doing it right, but nobody knows what you do.
Yeah.
They're not coming to you unless they know.
Yeah.
Especially if you're trying to do it on a larger scale.
Being seen is better than being talented right now.
100%.
You know, and it's crazy you said that because I'm just now stepping into that light. Because I had a parent ask me, they was like this year, like, what makes you want to get into training?
Yeah.
And I was like, huh?
You've been doing it.
It's like, I was like, the people that, like, I ain't even get into it. I was just like, wow, you really don't know.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's because we come from the era of, yo, like, if you know, you know.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got to get out of that.
Yeah, because we still doing the same work. Now we just putting it on camera.
Yeah,
that's
exactly,
it. Nothing's manufactured. Nothing's fake about what we do.
Yeah.
It's just now we're able to disseminate it to the masses through social media.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah. So, man, let's jump into Baba real quick, right? Like, you was on one of my posts, and you was like, you think Baba is the best player in the nation.
Yeah, I said that before he reclassed up.
Okay.
I said he was the best player regardless of class.
So tell me why you think that, and then just talk about, what you have seen in his development in the last year and some change.
Well, like, I've known his father before Baba was born. Like, we'll get into my history around basketball later, but I've always been a young guy around these, pretty much legendary people in our area, and because my dad always had me around basketball. Yeah. And
that's a fact.
Yeah. Nah, like, we'll get into that in a second. Like, my dad is a unique guy, but we went to the same gym. I've been going to this gym since we were 13, and his dad saw me, literally watched me grow up. And then, as I got to college and I was pursuing my professional career, he saw my work ethic. And to that point, we don't come from an era of trainers. Right. So, like, I didn't have my first basketball trainer until I was my third year overseas.
Right.
So, we had a little bit of money, so we went to camps every year. We went to 5-star, we went to Morgan Wooten camp, we went to those type of camps. But there was no, like, training like what they're getting now. Right. So he would just watch me, develop workouts of stuff that I needed to work on. I'm 6'2", I need to pick up 94 feet just to compete, right? So I needed to be in shape to run an offense as a point guard as well as play defense. So I'm just making up drills. And, Baba came in when he was about 3, before he even started school, and Ibrahim would just have a chair under the basket and sit there like 500 left-hand layups. I mean, this isn't by accident. Okay. So when I have my opinion about him, like, you're going to see why after I finish telling this story. Yeah. I literally watched it from the beginning. Yeah. And he would have to bribe him with Skittles and pizza just to work out. Like, this kid was a kid. Right. And so, but he picked stuff up so fast to the point where when he was around 7, I'm throwing like overseas stuff at him, like attacking the closeouts by putting the ball down, like different reads, step backs and all of that. And you can see that in this early film. So fast forward, he was only supposed to be 6'5", right? And so we were training him as a point guard. Right. And Ibrahim, like I said, he's the master trainer. Like, I helped out, but none of this happens without Ibrahim, his dad. His dad was an avid note taker. Like, he'll take notes and he'll name the drill. So if you hear him in the crowd saying Mike Creppy or Jason Tatum, it sounds like he's just saying a name, but it signals something to Baba and now Wale, his younger brother, to, okay, I know what that means now. So just watching him progress through the years, he's the most skilled player by far in high school basketball. Okay. And honestly, people use, and this is going to be something that's noteworthy, people say, I was talking to Gist about this actually a couple of days ago. Okay. People throw this unicorn and alien term around. He's a unicorn and alien because Wembanyama, Porzingis, they don't handle the ball like him. He has the ball on a string. He shoots the ball just as good as anybody, and he's 6'11". Okay. He can pass the ball with both hands because, like I said, he wasn't supposed to be 6'11". He was supposed to be a point guard. So he still has all of those skills in a 6'11" body, right? And then he has a work ethic, right? That's like people, and you're going to see that in our YouTube series, right, that we've started. He has a crazy work ethic. He doesn't get tired of it. And I can honestly say this. He's never once said, oh, I got to go to this workout. He works out 4 or 5 times a day. Since 9th grade, he has an adjusted schedule with his high school at Blake High School. So he maximizes the development with his dad, Ibrahim. Yeah. And so when I saw all of those things, and then when I saw him come out to the Mamba Invitational in LA a couple years ago, and then the Nike camp this year, I got to see all the top guys. Yeah. Like, and I'm watching them, and I'm sitting with his dad, and I'm like, these guys aren't as skilled as him. They're athletic, they're strong, but they're not skilled. And this game is still a skill game. Right. So you might see the dunks and stuff. He's getting that now. This year's going to be crazy. He's going to be on that rim. Okay. But his skill set is so high, which is why he's projected to be the top pick in 2027.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying?
So what do you feel, obviously I'm assuming that you like the fact that he moved up.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? And so obviously he's reclassed up. But what do you say to the folks that be like, man, like, why rush?
Because what else can he accomplish in high school, right? He's 10 years, his game is 10 years older than his age. Like, he's a true professional when it comes to basketball right now. If the league would have allowed him to go to the NBA out of high school, and he would have gone out of high school. Like, he was one of those guys. Like, if you look at him, if he walked in here right now, he fills up the door space because he's broad shoulders, he's tall, he meets the eye test, and he meets the metrics, and then you put him on that court, he's going to kill every workout. Like, he's consistently been ranked #1 since 9th grade. You know how hard that is?
That is very hard.
Because people get fatigued with success, right? Like, they want somebody new, somebody fresh. They couldn't deny his talent. Like, I
was going to say, so, you know, I watched him a lot this summer with Durant. What do you think he didn't get to show?
His playmaking ability, because he always, when he played on 16s and 17s, he's with ball-dominant guards, right? I think the kid's named Jamal McKnight and then Ant Brown. Very talented guards in their own rights, and they're very ball-dominant. And, you know, Bob was a kid where he can plug and do whatever. You need him to facilitate, he'll do it. You need him to take over the game, he'll do it. You need him to post up, you need him to shoot threes, like, you need him to get a stop, right? He can do everything on the court, which kind of lends people to think that, oh, he's not aggressive and things like that. But the game literally is easy for him. Like, you look up, he has 25 and 8, and it doesn't look like he broke a sweat, because that's how talented he is. So when people talk about that as a skeptic, like, oh, he doesn't look like he plays hard, he's playing against live cones essentially.
Smooth.
It's smooth, man. Like, and it's the truth. Like, we're not just saying that because, like I said, watch our series with him. He works extremely hard. It has nothing to do with his motor or anything, but it's like it's child's play, right? And the better teams he plays on with more systems and structure, the better he's going to look.
All right, my last question with Baba, then we're going to move on, is the move back to Blake. Right? I guess, you know, this is something I was curious about too, right? Like, you made the basketball jump, right, to go up, right? But then you stay at Blake instead of going to a basketball, I guess, program, right? Like, why would you stay home instead?
Well, I mean, that was the conversation that we had internally, you know, because...
you ain't got to say it if you ain't ready to talk about it.
No, it's public knowledge. Like, his dad talks about it on the docuseries that we're doing for him right now. And the biggest thing was the development part, because everybody sees... He got crazy offers to go to high school, like financial offers.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Like, people were throwing bags at him, but the dad has done very well for himself. Ibrahim has done very well for himself. He's a CPA by trade. He has a crazy real estate portfolio in College Park. So you're not dealing with the family that needs money right away. Like, they have a true strategy for the long term. And when he started weighing the options of playing on the EYBL Scholastic and things like that, it was at what expense to his development? Because let's be clear, if he doesn't continue to develop, all of this goes away. And so that was the biggest thing. We can stay right home. And Blake allowed him to reclass up, which a lot of these top-notch programs weren't allowing him to do. So there was a lot of strategy that went behind this decision. And then obviously, for me personally, my fear was that he wasn't going to be able to... He was getting a false sense of reality playing in Montgomery County, right? Where he's killing in Montgomery County. But is that going to translate as we start to get ready for freshman year of college and potentially the NBA? That all those questions were answered when he went to NBA Top 100 and he moved up to 17s. Like, he performed well, and then all the camps he went to, he killed every camp. So that answered all the questions. So why go outside of your comfort zone when everything you need is right here? Like, just to give you an example, John Calipari came to Blake High School. You don't get bigger than that. Like, I was there. Like, I went to Blake.
I saw it.
It was insane. Like, I know the history of Blake. Like, I was there when Blake won his first game in the history of the school. So to see a guy like John Calipari in Kentucky and Rick Barnes was there 2 days ago, like, I'm in the gym. I'm seeing this happen in this gym, all because of this kid and the decision that the family made. So that was that's the reason why he stayed at Blake.
Yeah, I'm a big culture dictates commerce, you know, so I feel that, man. So I wanna talk about your playing days a little bit, right? You know, talk about what your experiences was like playing overseas. And obviously, you was at an NAIA school, correct, right?
No, I was at UC Riverside in the Big West.
That's right.
Yeah.
Big West. All right.
I was in the Big West.
Damn, you was all the way on the West side.
Yeah. Shout out to my man Walter Ray. Walter Ray connected me out there.
Listen,
Legend. You need to get him on here.
Walt, we was on the text message. We was talking. It did. You know, Walt is a ghost.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, he just disappeared. And I'm like, Walt, where you at?
Yeah,
you know,
that's who got me out there.
Yeah, man.
That's who got me out west.
Walt was one of them guys, man. Long story about Walt. I love Walt to death. Definitely want to get him on the show. So I want to talk about just, you was on the West Coast, and then did you go right overseas, or did you? Yeah,
so let's go back, because it's important to give context, right? So, like I said, my dad is a basketball junkie. Like, my dad is a judge by trade. He's a federal judge. Okay. He was the chief immigration judge for 12 years, which is the longest anybody's ever been a chief immigration judge in the history of America. And he's the first black chief immigration judge in the history of America.
That's
so
awesome.
My dad's that guy when it comes to law. But he loved basketball. So he combined the two things. He had the money to do certain things, but he also, my dad's a DC guy. Like, if he walked in here right now, he'd probably have a We Are One hoodie on to this day as a sitting judge. Like, you know, anybody that's met my dad knows he's a real one. Like, he don't come off like he's a judge. That's where my humbleness comes from between him and my mom. Like, they use their platform and their resources to help people, not to stun on them. So anyway, my dad always had me around basketball. We had season tickets to the Bullets, USA Arena. I was a ball boy for them. And so, you know, my dad didn't know anything about basketball, right? But he was a great researcher. So that's why he got me at Newport Prep, you know, for middle school. And, you know, I played on the Bowie Bar Handlers growing up, and Bowie Panthers when I lived in Atlanta before we moved to Montgomery County. Right. And so I was always in good basketball environments. Like Steve Turner from Gonzaga, he was my coach in middle school, like at Newport Prep. Right. And then Keith Stevens, who ran Takeover, he was the JV coach when I was there. So just being around all these basketball people, and I didn't know anything. I knew I just loved basketball since I was 7. Like, there was nothing else I wanted to do. Of course, my dad wanted me to get into law, but I couldn't shake this basketball thing, right? And to his credit, he always supported it. Right. He never, like, said, all right, you just doing this for a certain period of time, then you're going to go get your law degree. It was, look, if you're going to do this, let's do it. And I was a kid that you never had to force to work out. And I can honestly say that. Like, my dad never had to wake me up to go work out. I was literally waking him up. Now that I'm 39, knowing how crazy that was, he just had a long week of work. Right. And I'm waking him up at 6 a.m. to go take me to the field to go run. And he did it, man. So, you know, shout out to my dad. But, you know, just always constantly learning about basketball and being in these basketball environments. I didn't know anything. Like, I remember when I first went to Newport and I saw James White and these guys running through the hallways with these jerseys with triple numbers on them, right? Because I never saw it. I was like, why they got triple numbers? I didn't know that was an ABCD jersey that he was rocking. And so like Newport had some killers, man. Like, James White, Rodney White, TJ Thompson, his brother Lanny Thompson, Jonathan Lyles, Josh Caldwell. Like Victor Sam, they went to Georgetown. The list can go on and on. So I'm around these guys, and I played JV at middle school at the same time. Dwayne Anderson, another guy you should get on here. We played at Newport together. So anyway, I'm just around basketball, and my dad started his own AAU team called the Silver Spring Wizards. Okay, right? Yeah. Because, like I said, we didn't know about the circus and anything like that. So, you know, we had the money, though. So we didn't need sponsors. All the kids on our team, the kids went to St. Albans, and we had people that were like CEOs of Black & Decker and stuff like that. So we could fund everything ourselves. So we would go to all the tournaments, AAU Nationals. We would go to like Maui Invitational tournaments and play against Tim Thomas players and play against all these teams. And I would always play against the Blue Devils, right? That was the team I always played against locally. And they used to come through with the custom Nike Shocks, and, you know, shout out Rob Jackson. He still hits me up to this day. And we would always lose, of course, but I always have like 20, 30 against them. So my dad took me as far as he could take me with this team. And I remember he said, look, if you're trying to play in college, you're going to have to get on the circuit. So I didn't know anything. I had just transferred to Good Counsel at the time. I was at Blake, and I transferred to Good Counsel for my junior year. And James and I, that's where we first really got tight. And this is when he was playing on the Blue Devils. Right. And I was like, yeah, my dad said he don't got a team no more, so I'm looking for a team. He was like, man, come up McNamara tonight. Like, you know, we got practice. So Rob,
just like James.
Yeah. So Rob ain't know I was coming up. I just pulled up. Yeah. And I had confidence. I had crazy confidence at the time. And there's a reason I'm bringing this up. And because I knew I could play against these guys. And when I walked in there, they all knew me, you know what I'm saying? And our team was stacked, man. We had Cheyenne Moore. We had Isaiah Swan. Mm-hmm. We had Peter Prowett that went to Stanford, James, Eric Price, Justin Castleberry, the master guy. We had Marcus Ginyard, all those guys on the team. And so I went in there, and I'm just playing. I don't know anything about anything. And so after the practice, Rob tells my dad, you know, he could be on the team. So that's when I got on Nike circuit. So our team was number one in the country. And I was really good as a kid. The reason why I'm bringing that up is to give context. Like, even though I didn't have a basketball background, I was really good because my dad had a strategy about just putting me in the right basketball environments in combination with my love for the game, where it was like, I'm always at the gym. I'm always at the court, the park. We still played outside back then. Yeah. And so, like, we had a court in our driveway. We had a neighborhood park in Stonegate down the street. And my mom, she was overprotective. She didn't want me going to the park. But I was always going to be there. And I would just see her van coming from the top of the hill. And I would try to cut across the field to meet her home. But I was willing to take, you know, whatever came with that for the love of the game. Yeah. So, you know, fast forward to my senior year, like I was just coming off playing with the Blue Devils, playing at good Counsel. I transferred back to Blake for my senior year because now I have schools after me. I'm top 20 in the state of shooting guards. And so I was really good, right? Really good early. And then I go to UC Riverside, fast forward to that, right, in the Big West. Shout out to Walt getting me out there. It was a perfect school for me because I was at Coppin State my first year.
Right, that's right.
Because I was supposed to go to James Madison. Right, the whole staff gets fired. Like I was going. So I stopped my recruitment. Everything was done. So my mom knew the dean at Coppin. She got me an interview there. So I go there. Basketball wise, it was cool. Like in terms of like we had a top 25 schedule. We played 9 top 25 teams, but it just, to put it plainly, it wasn't for me. Right. Like it wasn't the right fit. So I transferred after my sophomore year and I go to UC Riverside, which is obviously a higher level in the Big West. And I get there and I'm like, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be. Like, coach is rocking with me. Like, and as for any guys that you're mentoring, if you're an East Coast guard or East Coast basketball player in general, go out West. You're gonna kill out there because just how we play. Physical. We have a different, you know, pace to our game, you know what I'm saying? And then if you're from the DMV, we do everything. We can post up, we can handle the ball, we can shoot, everything, you know, we on the rim. Like we play anything you want, we can play. So I go to UC Riverside and literally the second day I'm there, I'm killing the first day. The coach is telling my dad, this is what we got planned for him. This is my school, right? I'm getting shoes the rest of the players ain't getting. I'm like, all right, this is how my D1 experience is supposed to be. Next day I get in a fatal car accident. So, you know, I just moved into my apartment. My parents were still in town. They were flying out the next day. And we're in the car, we're going bowling, right? We just bowled one game and we're on our way back. It was 4 of my teammates, 2 girls. And on the way back, it's a car stalled out in the middle of the freeway. And out in LA, they drive pretty fast, right? So I'm in Riverside, which is called the IE. That's where like Reggie Miller's from and Kawhi Leonard, those guys. And so, you know, they still drive fast out there. And, you know, my teammate that was driving, he's from the Bay Area. So this when Hyphy was going crazy. So, you know, I'm not sure if he was drinking or not, but, you know, he was partying in the car. Like he was rocking to the music. And his car was just stalled in the middle of the freeway and the hazards were on. And, you know, as a guard, we're trained to look ahead. I'm in the back like, we coming up on this car really fast. And we get close to it. I just said, yo, watch out. He swerves and the car just starts flipping. And I remember, and I was in the best shape of my life. Like, because after I finished at Coppin, the school year didn't start until September. So the school year ended early at Coppin and started late. So I had a whole summer to train. Shout out my trainer, Myron Flowers, right? And you had Myron on here. I've been with Myron since I was 18. We'll touch on that in a second. But, you know, I was in crazy shape. I was in blast mode. And the first thought I had when that car started flipping, it was like slow motion. You know how people say stuff happens in slow motion? It really happened like that. It's not no Hollywood stuff. So the car starts, I can feel it leaning. And it's like all the work that I did this summer is about to go out the window. That was my first thought. Damn. And then the next thought was, is this how it's going to end? And then I blacked out. And when I came to, I was walking on the side of the road. Like everything was still in my pockets. Like I'm like, yo, just trying to make sure I'm good. And I could see my apartment building from the freeway. That's how close we were. So I'm like, all right, I'm straight. I'm about to just walk back. And then like something hit me. It was like, yo, turn around. And I turn around and I just see the wreckage. Like my teammate that was driving was way behind the car. He died at the scene. Another girl, she died the next day. And so I had a 4th degree separation of my right shoulder and I broke my right foot because the car slammed on my side. And like it's only by the grace of God that, one, that I'm alive, and then 2, that I wasn't paralyzed or anything like that. And not even talking about the mental side of being in a situation like that. So, you know, when people see and hear my story, they just look at the basketball aspect of it. And nobody's going to feel sorry for you. That's one thing you learn playing D1, playing overseas, playing in the NBA, is nobody cares. Like,
nobody.
And so, you know, I ended up getting healthy enough to start getting in the rotation senior year of conference play in my senior year. And so when people look at my stats and stuff, and it's like, bro, I had to recover from a fatal car accident, right? And so like the fact that I can shoot a basketball enough to play D1 and overseas with my shoulder the way it is still hurts me to this day is a miracle. So when people hear about my faith with Christ and everything like that, like it's real. Like I was already on that path before that accident. Then once he saved me in that car accident, I was like, oh, God has a purpose for me in this game. And so what I do business-wise, you know, content-wise, that's just opportunities God has given me. But even if I wasn't given those opportunities, I would still be in basketball. Because this is my purpose. Like, this is my platform, and I'm changing lives through basketball.
Man, I didn't know that. I definitely didn't know that. And you know, God willing, like, obviously you're here. But that is... It's
well documented. You go to LA Times, they did a big story on it. Like,
that's crazy. Like, that is crazy.
So, like, it messed me up to the point where I was like, all right. Like I had a moment where I was like, man, like God is, if this basketball thing is for me, like let me know, because I got this passion that's burning deep inside, and it just didn't look like it was gonna work out. But I never had the notion to quit. It was like, all right, well, I still got this passion. I still like going to the gym every day. Excuse me. So let's just see this through, see what God has, and here we are.
The one thing I was gonna say about you that I've always admired is your work ethic. Like you work, you know what I mean? Like when I see you, you know, even at this age, you know, whether it's working out with Myron or just in the gym by yourself, you know, like I'm like, I can understand why you played for so long, you know what I mean? Because you stayed in shape. I think as a guard, one of the things I always try to tell everybody is like, you have to stay in shape.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? There's no way you can play at a high level and be a guard and be out of shape and be winded. Like you got too many responsibilities.
Too many,
you know what I mean? So that was one thing. I always say war of attrition is the number one thing, right? And then obviously you continue to pound the pavement on getting better. You know what I mean? You're working, getting your shots up, handles, different things like that, man. So I always admire
like
that.
all those guys that we named, like when I was on that AAU team, like one of your close friends, Brian Johnson, I forgot to mention him. BJ's my guy, right? And like BJ was one of those guys, he could have gone to the league out of high school. He was so good, right? And I still talk to BJ to this day. That's like one of my guys. And one thing I always respected about Brian and Isaiah, they were really highly touted. Isaiah Swan, they were really highly touted, but they never treated the rest of the guys on the team like they were less than or anything. Like they were just one of the guys. They just happened to be really good really early. And so, like, I wasn't one of those guys that I had talent. I was athletic, but I wasn't overly athletic where I didn't have to work. I was talented, but I wasn't so talented that I didn't have to work. So like James, 6'9", 40-inch vertical. Like my best friend, like I can't do what he does. Like I have to do more, you know? And, you know, but the guys always respected me because of that. Cause like, I'm like, look, if y'all in the gym, y'all know who to call. Like to this day, like if you want to know about some bump, you want to find a gym anywhere I am in the world, like I went to Egypt and I found some bump out there. Like, I'm going to find some, I'm a hoop. You know what I'm saying? That's a true story.
That's cool. It's funny you talk about that Blue Devils team. I was on that team for a hot second, right? And, you know, Rob, you know, I know the AAU thing, but I was ducked to play. And then I think, was it Brad Farrell came on the team?
Brad Farrell, he was on the team. Yeah. Northern Virginia guy.
Right. And I wasn't getting any playing time. And I was just like, I'm out of here.
I mean, the AAU thing is fit,
I was like, bro, like, it's no way. But, like, he had a bigger name than me. And I was just like, bro, like, I'm not doing this. Like, I know what I can do. You know what I mean? So I ended up getting off the team and doing my own thing. But
I mean, one thing you learn about this just basketball thing in general is you have to understand how to use certain platforms, right? You can't take it personal. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like right now, like people might say, oh, you could have gotten X, Y, and Z with Hulu, right? I'm on Hulu. Right. Now it's on me to make it shake, make something shake, right? Like I can take, Hulu's not stopping me from going out and being on podcasts, going on TV, promoting who I am, what I do, and the film. So like, you can't take it personal. If you on a team and it's stacked and you on the circuit, you on the circuit. Go out and like shoot content. If you're not playing, film your workouts. Show people like, yo, you on the team and you got game, right? Eventually you're gonna have moments in the game for you to shine. So, you know, that's one thing that I got from Blue Devils, because I was a rotational guy on the team. Like, let's be clear. Like I wasn't one of the featured guys, but at the same time, I take being on the Blue Devils and I take that back to Montgomery County Public School. I'm one of the top guys in the area now. You know what I'm saying? Like we were top 10 at Montgomery County Public School, had 3 teams in the top 10 my senior year. Springbrook was number 1 with Fowlerman. Magruder, Brandon Giles, and those guys were number 3.
I remember them.
And then we were number 9.
Brandon Giles was good.
Come on, like I said, like I can like my basketball knowledge in this area is deep, bro, because I was really outside. And so, but I was on the Blue Devils, and I take that back to Montgomery County Public School. Now I'm getting write-ups. Now I'm in the Washington Post, right? Because this guy that came from Good Counsel, another team I was a rotational player on, like Amari Israel and James Gist were the top dogs. Amari really was the top dog. He could have gone to NBA at high school. And
rest in peace.
Rest in peace, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was another dude that never stunted on anybody. He treated everybody like, you know what I'm saying?
We used to have a lot of fun in Ocean City.
That's his spot. That's his spot.
Yeah, that was his spot.
But yeah, bro, so it was like, I just understood early about this process. I just didn't have the backing, right? I understood what I needed. That's why I transferred from Blake to Good Counsel, because I'm like, I'm not going to play forward at my height. I need to go to a team that had height. So I told my dad that I was going to transfer. Like everything, like my dad didn't know anything, but he would follow my lead. Like to this day, I trained with Myron since I was 18. I'm 39 now. I've been with him every step of the way. My dad doesn't come to one of my workouts with Myron.
That's beautiful.
He gave me the money, but he trusted that I was going to go and do right. So
man, I wanna switch into what you do with your showcases for overseas guys, right? And putting them in position. Like, talk about what's your thought process behind that and why you decided to do that.
Yeah, so just to piggyback on like just that car accident and everything, how it kind of changed the trajectory of my career. I was always looked at as like my stats, but I knew my game didn't reflect my stats. And so I remember I was probably in my 2nd or 3rd year overseas, and somebody added me to a Facebook group. This is when Facebook groups started getting popping. And it was a basketball group. And at first I was like, nah, I don't need this. But one day I just decided to look at the posts in there, and it was all these players talking about, man, I just wish I had an opportunity to get overseas. Like, and I got game, but my stats, the coach wasn't rocking with me. I got injured. I had to take a year off for family. And I was like, yo, that was me. Right? That was me, literally. So I was like, okay, how can I help these players? So I started reaching out to them, saying, hey, like, if you just need some advice, just hit me up on IG Messenger and stuff. I mean, not on Facebook Messenger. And it became, because I was still playing and still working out, it was too much, right? So I'm like, all right, how can I disseminate this information to the masses without it taking away from my training and everything? So that's when I wrote the book. So I wrote the first book on overseas basketball. It's the guideline to a successful basketball career overseas. Apple Bookstore is on there right now. Just so I can share that information, just share the game, like how to talk to agents, like what to ask for in contracts, like how to vet an agent, you know, because not every agency, even if they're good, are right for you. I learned all that through my process, right? Because I was signed, like eventually when I did get an agent, my first year I didn't have an agent. But, you know, as you know, once you play and you play well, now everybody wants to tap in with you. So my first year I played in the UK BBL, the top league in England. I have a British passport. That opened up everything for me. Like at that time, they were part of the EU. My mother's from the Caribbean. And the island she's from is a territory of the UK. So at that time, they were part of the EU. So I was a Bosman A. I could play in all of the EU countries, all of them, as a national player, not as an import. And back then, they had quotas on how many imports. They still do, but it's a little more lax now. Some countries have 5, 6, but back then it was like 2, maybe 3. And so, you know, just looking at those stories, I saw myself in that. And, you know, I made a promise to God that if he ever allowed me to play professional basketball, that I would serve him through this game and open up the door and help people. And that's what I did. So, you know, after that, you know, I started getting some really big publications, the LA Times and Spectrum Sports. And then eventually people started hitting me up like, yo, like, can you help me get overseas?
Yeah.
So I just said, look, let me combine my network that I had. I knew coaches and GMs all over the world. I have these players that are asking to get overseas. And my prerequisite was if the coaches aren't in the gym, there's no event.
Right.
So I was like, because I thought like it had a stigma to
Hold
these
on
events.
real quick.
Yeah.
I want say that one more time. If the coaches
aren't in the gym, I don't care if it's high school, college, pro. If somebody's running an event and there are no coaches in the gym, I don't care if they say they got all the context. I got all the context in the world. But I know as a player, if I'm playing, I need to see people scouting me. It's psychological.
Right. And I just wanted to make sure I emphasize that again. And see, you said it about the overseas guy. I'm glad you talked about high school because that is something that goes on a lot. And I get a lot of DMs of should I be at this event? I'm like, well, is it going to help you?
That's it.
You know what I mean? Like, what are you accomplishing out of this? And a lot of times,
they're money grabs. And I knew that going into the space. So that's why I said before, I wanted to start to publicize what I do. So I'm not the last situation for people to come to. I'm the first one, because that's what was happening early on. They would go to all these camps. I'm not gonna say any names, and there'll be money grabs. No coach would be in the stands, and then they come to me. It's like, man, I always spent like $5,000 on events, and if this doesn't work out, I'm quitting. Like, these are messages I'm getting, and so it's a lot of pressure, but it wasn't pressure because I knew if you were in shape and your game was right, my events were for you.
Yeah.
So, like, you can see from the women's events I do to the men's events, there's a common theme. All of these players were professional before they came to me. They just had to be seen by the right people. And so that was my prerequisite. It was like, look, let's get the coaches in the gym. If they're not in the gym, then no event. It's no harm in that, right? Like, just cancel the event until we get them in the gym. And, you know, then also say, look, I watch everybody's film before they come. And, of course, there's some guys that aren't in shape like they are in their film and things like that, if I'm being honest. But I always tell them in big red letters when I send out the email, if you're not in shape and your game isn't sharp, do not come to this event. You know, I turn away a lot of business because of that. But I want it to be authentic, right? I want it to be for players that just need to be seen by the right people. One, to give them the opportunity that they're looking for. But two, I can't ask these coaches and GMs to come out to watch guys that aren't in shape.
Yeah, you got to have
then
a
I
good
lose
product.
credibility.
Right.
You know,
good
so
product. Let me ask you this.
So my company is called Vindicated Sports. Right, we're a consulting agency. We give advice to players, agents, and coaches on the business of overseas basketball. And yeah, like, imported the film is just something that's piggybacked off of that. But our meat and potatoes is helping players understand overseas basketball and connecting them with the right people to give them opportunities.
Love that. Love that. So let me ask you this: from let's say we got a lot of people that watch this, right? You got college players that watch this. And you thinking about going overseas, right?
Yeah.
I've heard back and forth on should I have a agent that is from overseas or an agent that is from America, and if I'm trying to be overseas. Like,
if you're trying to be overseas, you want, like, I always tell people, don't simplify this complicated industry. If you're looking to play overseas, you need somebody overseas. I mean, because if anybody you work with in the States has a partner overseas, because they're not overseas, just it's logical, right? So you want an agent that's actually over there. If you, like, it's like, say, if you want to make it to the NBA, you don't want an overseas agent. You want an American agent or a US-based agent, right? So always get an agent that's over there. But also do your research. Ask questions. That's the first part of my book is to ask questions, right? And don't be afraid to ask questions, because I think you can attest to this too. When you first start your career, these agents make it feel like they're the gatekeeper to your career, right? And they kind of make you feel like you work for them instead of them working for you. And I don't like that phrase of them working for you anymore. It's a partnership, right? It's collaborative. Like, they need to have the connections and be actively working to put your name into the market, and you have to be in shape and your game needs to be right. So those two things coming together lead to success. But for any players watching this, always ask questions. Anybody that's representing you, managing you, ask questions, because you're going to be the one that either benefits or suffers because of that.
100%. Now let me ask you this. Let's trickle that down into high school. Right now, agents are starting to deal with high school kids. do you feel is necessary? And also, like, what questions should high school guys ask, you know, guys that want to represent them?
Well, I mean, this is more so for the parents, right? Why does your son or daughter need an agent right now? Mm-hmm. Like, Baba is arguably the number one player in the country. He has no agent. He's getting deals because of his brand. Like, why would somebody get 20% of something that they don't have to work for? The deals are coming. If you are entertaining an agent, that means your son or daughter is really good already, and really popular already.
They coming to you for a reason, not just because they're nice.
Exactly. So what I would tell parents to do, if I were to give them advice, is grow the brand organically, right? Post original content, post stuff that you guys can control the narrative and that you can keep everything in-house. And then when it's time for you to get an agent, you can knock that 20% down to 5% because you have leverage now.
Yeah, because what's it in the NBA? What is it, 4%?
It's up to 4%, but you can, knock it down to 2. Some people get 1. Yeah, right. Overseas it's a standard 10%. Yeah.
And so I always, when we had these conversations behind the scenes, man, I always tell folks, like, you do understand, like, at the highest level, it's 4%.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not trying to knock the agents that's watching this thing.
I am.
But look, I do want you to understand.
Yeah,
like, I am. You just gotta, all I'm saying is, like, a lot of times we don't realize that we are the prize.
Yes.
Like, you are the oil.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why everybody's coming to you, because you are the oil. But for whatever reason, we don't be understanding our value.
Yeah.
And then we think that somebody else gotta give us our worth.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, like, you already there.
And like we talked about off camera, we're always going to advocate for the players first, right?
Yeah.
And like you said, it's not to, we're not intentionally trying to disrupt somebody's business, but if your business is going to grow at the expense of the player, I'm never going to stand for that.
Yeah.
So, and I don't mind being a bad guy for the right reasons.
Yeah. Like, I don't mind if you got to work for what you earning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if it's already done, I don't necessarily know.
I mean, you're saying that, you've seen that in the NBA now. Like, guys like Shea and these guys are firing their agents because their salaries are already in place.
Right.
Like, there's nothing for this guy to do. You got MVP, you won NBA championship, you're a super max player. The super max is already established. There's nothing more he can get you.
Yeah.
So
The one thing I want us as a unit to focus more on is the financial side. Right. All right, now we got into the point where we know how to handle business. Right. But now, like, how do we make our money work for us? You know what I mean? I think athletes in general just need to have a better understanding of what they need to do, whether it's stocks, whether it's real estate, whether, you know what I mean? Like, just.
But I even go a step further, Stan. So, like, as hoopers, right? Because that's our world.
Yeah.
So many times, and I have a lot of people that are our age that are facing the mortality of their careers, asking, how did you transition so seamlessly, right? To the point where people didn't know if I was still playing or not, like, because it was still seamless. It was so seamless. And the thing I want players to get is to understand everything you want to do, whether it's real estate, whether it's financing, whether it's health, whether it's nutrition, whether it's content creating, filmmaking, it's within basketball.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to, you spent your whole life in this game. You have a PhD in this game.
PhD.
Now it's just about taking a step back and connecting all of your network, especially if you played overseas. You have a global network without you even knowing. If you played 10 plus years, think about all the places that you've played, all the people that you've met. You can combine those together to start a global brand.
Yeah.
And that's all I've done. Yeah. It's like I said, I simplify the complicated. Yeah. Like, that's why I'm chilling, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't chase anything. Everything is already in my ecosystem that God has given me through basketball. And so what I tell guys is, don't be so quick to run into these other industries without exhausting what you already know.
Yeah.
Because you already have a network, you already have a brand, you already have a name. You know how this process works. You know about trends. Like, I can see trends that are coming down the road in basketball right now. Like, I'm not gonna say. I'm gonna say one of them. I mean, one-on-one basketball. But because I'm in basketball,
Bam.
I know it's about to be like prize fighting. It's about to be like boxing soon, if done the right way.
Yeah, MMA for basketball.
Come on, like there's so many things that are happening that we should be at the forefront of. Not these people coming in and taking away from our industry.
Into a business, we should be making the
We should be making the money because we have everything in it. But too many times we let society, and if we're being honest, ourselves, marginalize who we are with just basketball players. Like, we only can train We only can coach, which is nothing wrong with it if you truly have a passion for it. But if you're doing it to make money, there's so many other ways to monetize basketball. And my thing is just to give yourself a chance to explore what basketball has to offer. So you don't have to run to these industries. If those industries present opportunities down the road, cool, right? But why go and do X, Y, and Z where you have to learn a new trade when you know this like the back of your hand?
It's funny you say that, man, because I feel like even though I'm in this space, you're still speaking to me, right? Because like I'm getting real comfortable in this space, and I like it a lot. You know what I mean? And I'm learning and I'm growing, and I'm starting to see lanes that I can probably jump into, man. And it's a beautiful thing.
But your conversations are authentic conversations that everybody that plays basketball might think about and might talk about within amongst their friends, but you're putting it on a big platform.
Yeah, exactly.
And people, and that's why people are following, because they can relate to the topics.
Yeah.
It's everything you saying is what we talk about.
Yeah, man.
Like everything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's what people are talking about on a grander scale in the comment sections on some of these, national basketball platforms on social media. You're just talking about it from an intelligent perspective because you did it.
Yeah. So man, I got 2 more questions for you before I get into it. Is there anything that we ain't covered that you wanted to speak on?
I mean, not really. I mean, we can talk about it at the end, but like everything that we've talked about, like, it's just about like, one thing, if I'm being honest, like one thing I love about what's happening with Baba right now is that there's a microscope on Montgomery County basketball.
Yeah, okay.
Right? I think a lot of times, and I'm not saying it's intentional, but PG, DC, even Baltimore, they get a lot of the credit for having the best hoopers, right? And don't get it twisted. From Mo County, we used to go up to Run and Shoot to go bump. We went up McNamara. We used to go down number 10 Boys and Girls Club in DC and play down the farms. You play in the Canada. Like if you truly hooped, you went where the bump was. But this notion that just a bunch of suburban kids living in the gated communities, playing against, low-level talent, couldn't be further from the truth. Like you've had some killers on this platform, right? And like I could just name some names right now that you could put them anywhere and they're going to destroy, and they have destroyed. Fallon Campbell, Isaiah Swan, James Gist. He doesn't like when I say he's from Mo County, right? But if you look at his media guide in Maryland, what's it say?
I get it.
Right? He was born in Turkey. His family was in the military. But anyway, I still think he's from Mo County because that's where he got on the map.
Understood.
Right? You got Jerome Williams to go back in the day, right? You have Darren McClinton.
Ain't Bam from Moco too?
Yeah, Bruce Massey, one of the young fellas, like Jamal Alasaway, who was an all-decade team in the NEC at LIU Brooklyn.
Right.
Like, and these are just the notable names, right? We had some killers come through there, and Jamal Wise, all met Paint Branch. You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys were extremely good coming out of Mo County, and like it was almost like, oh, y'all just some suburban dudes over there, and they just automatically wrote us off like we ain't work and stuff like that. And that's actually one of my books that I'm getting ready to write is how hard is it to get home from third base, to speak about what it's like coming from affluence, right? And how hard it is to be successful when you have everything afforded to you.
Bruh, so like that's a whole different animal, right? And so like me and my wife speak on this all the time, right? I obviously didn't grow up here, but I live around here, right? And I talk about my kids, and I'm just like, one of the things I think we always get in the issue with, when I say we, I'm just talking about us, our culture, is like the kid that didn't struggle. Yeah. Right? Like we hate on that. And I'm just like, why?
Well, people thought, cause like my dad's such a big judge, he thinks that, people used to think that, oh, I only got where I got because my dad knew somebody.
But check this out. Let's say all of a sudden, you worked your ass off, right? And you got to where you are, and you put your kid in a situation that he's going to be very successful with or without sports. Yeah. You're essentially hating on your own kid that you done put in position. If you hating on a man that, you grew up with that came from that. Yeah. But like we get into that hate. And it's just like, bro, it's like not necessary. Like you should celebrate that. Like everybody don't gotta have a struggle story for it to be success.
And the crazy part is, and this is something that really shakes people up when I say this, we're actually more dangerous on the court because we don't have to be here. Yeah. like we don't. I was going to college regardless if I played ball or not. Like I was gonna be successful if I didn't play ball or not. So the fact that I'm here where y'all at, like, and putting in the work, I have nothing to lose. I'm dangerous.
Yeah.
Like, I can play free. I don't care if I score 2 points or 30 points. My parents still gonna love me. Like, I'm still gonna be successful by the grace of God. I just have this passion for this game.
Yeah.
So y'all should fear me because I'm not afraid to take this shot.
Yeah.
Like,
man, man, I love that, man. Getting home from third base, boy. That's
don't take my idea.
I'm not. That is all you, brother. But
that's how my mind works.
I love it though. I love it because that is very true, and that is like, as we continue to grow, as Black people, I definitely think we're going to have more people on third base
100%.
Trying to get home.
As it should be.
Yeah, as it should be. And
but
like,
we don't want to give them so much that they lack the substance that they need to be successful. And that's what I give my parents credit for.
Yeah. So I tell my wife all the time, I said, my kid's going to be privileged, but not entitled.
Yeah.
Like that's the mindset of this.
That's
thing.
the point. Yeah,
that's the mindset.
That's what we are. Me and my brothers and I, we're privileged. Don't get it twisted. Like, we have privilege. We would be lying if we say we didn't, but we're not entitled. Like, we had to work. Like that's where the work ethic comes from. You come to our house, house is cool, but like, my dad don't come off like no snotty, snobbish dude. He don't like any of that stuff.
Yeah, man.
So,
man, like, I got 2 more questions. My first one is, what do you think high school players are missing as far as like their development in their game right now that they can get better at?
Oh, they don't hoop outside of practice.
Okay.
They don't bump. Like, that's the easy one.
Okay.
Like, they are beyond skill because now they're getting professional training. Like, I joke with Bob all the time about this. I said, bro, you understand, I was really good in high school. I played WCSC basketball, played D1, and I got paid to play basketball without a basketball trainer.
Yeah.
Y'all have everything now, right? So, but the difference was we would organize the bump. It's crazy to think about it, Stan. We didn't even have social media. I'm still trying to figure out how we organized the bump. You know what I'm saying? Cell phones were cool, but like, nobody, like, how do we know? People were chasing the bump. They're going to the gym, hoping that the real guys were there. Yeah. And that's how we got better.
Will that ever change, or is we too far gone from that?
No. I just think it takes us to create that environment again. Right?
Can we?
I think so.
I like that is one of
the kids want to bump. They want to bump, but they're so used to this environment of training in this controlled environment that all we have to do with the people that they respect is say, yo, meet us here at this gym. I'm bringing some other top guys here, and we about to hoop.
I'm gonna hold you to that when you're in town, because like, one of the things that I would love to do, and like I say, it don't gotta be me, right? But like, one of the things I see is sometimes trainers like to just hold on to their guys a little too much, and I'm like, bro, like, once a week, let's just everybody get to a gym and make that thing like 30 kids outside, and like, if you lose, you gonna have to wait maybe 2 times, you know, 2 games. Like, that's a beautiful thing to sit there and like, that creates that sense of urgency. You gonna play hard, you know what I mean?
They have that in LA. Like, I live in LA now.
That's what I'm saying. And like, why we don't have that here when we got the best talent?
I told Gist, I said, I posted it maybe right before I moved out there. It was about 6 or 7 years ago, and I made a post and I said, LA has the best basketball scene in the country. It's not even close. And everybody from back home, you know, got on me for it. Y'all got to come out here and see how they operate. One, they have this thing called LA Unified, which is the school district name, but the basketball community embraces that. And that's another thing that I think the DMV should embrace, is the collaborative side of things, right? It's too many pockets, too many cliques, and it's like, we have the best hoopers, but we don't come together.
One over here, one over here, one over there.
Who comes home and plays in the Kenner?
Nobody.
Everybody goes to the Drew League and play.
Yeah.
Like, everybody from LA, no matter how big they are, they go to the Drew League and play, which makes other players from other areas want to come play there because of how much they care about their league. We have the same thing here, right? But we are too much about individuals and, oh, you a Mo County guy, you a PG guy, you a Baltimore guy. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest, Baltimore, they stick together to me more than us in the DMV.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? And I think, to your point, if there was something else I want to talk about, it's just, don't be afraid to collaborate. You can only get so far by yourself, right? Like, and you know, that was the one thing that I always saw coming up, because like I said, I was around a lot of older guys, and one thing I wish they would have done was to be more open to helping the young guys, you know, open up their platforms to them. And you know, and that's honestly why I started Vindicated Sports, because I want to change that narrative. Like I want to be the one that now I have the access, the resources. Like, let's bring these guys along. Like, because if you really are who you say you are, it's not going to take any food off your plate.
It's not going to take nothing.
Like, I don't have to be insecure about it, because what God has for me is for me. I can help these guys out. And the crazy part is, the more you help other people, the better you are. That's the wild part about it.
What they say, man, what payroll say, man, started blessing folks and started getting blessed.
You know what I'm saying? He on repeat right now.
Yeah, all day, you know. And my last question is handling success, right? Everybody's trying to get there, but once you are there and everybody, you know, you're a target on everybody's back. Handling success is a different animal. You know, what advice can you give to, you know, the youngsters out there and even the parents on handling success?
So my substance and my foundation is rooted in Christ, right? Christ is all about humility, gratitude, understanding we're being used, and it's not about you, it's giving God the credit, because he's just using you to show a glimpse of his glory and power, right? And with that foundation, I'm able to keep things in perspective. Like, this stuff doesn't matter. Cars, all that stuff, like, it's cool to have, but it's what you use it for. Like, if people can be motivated to listen to me, and now I'm teaching them to live right and how to handle success the right way, then that's all that matters to me at this point. Because you can't take this stuff with you, the money, all that stuff. All that matters is, what type of impact did you use when you were here on earth? And when people see Baba, right, because I always bring his name up because he has such popularity, but if you talk to him, he has immense humility.
Very grounded.
But you look at his parents, Christian-based family, they ground him in that. So now when he goes out into the world, into this crazy world he's about to embark into, like, you don't have to worry how he's gonna handle it, right? And that's what I want kids to understand. Like, as quickly as God has given you the success, it can go away just as fast, right? And at the end of the day, if you're stunning on people, you're one mistake away from being in somebody else's shoes. The only thing that's keeping you there is God's grace and mercy. So, like, that's one thing I want people to understand about success, right? It's to be used to help people, and you're just a vessel.
Yeah, man.
That's it, bro.
I want to thank you for coming on this show, dog. This was good, man. I felt like I haven't caught up with you in a minute, like on this type of, you know, just conversation, man. So I definitely want to thank you for coming on. Wish you much success, you know, with Imported. And
check out Imported, Hulu and Disney Plus right now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And all the other endeavors you got going on, man. I feel like we're gonna figure a way to collab.
Oh, we are.
You know,
and before you even force me to do it, make sure y'all stay game related. All right.
Hey, we gonna close on that, man. It's a wrap, man.
My man.
Yes, sir.
That's it, bro.
Thank you.
That's it, dog.
Thank you.